Hello friends, today I'm featuring this incredibly well executed boots coming out of Indonesia by Midas Bootmaker. It's Ashwin, how are you? I wanted to bring about and discuss this emerging brand that is a spin-off of a fairly well-known Indonesian shoemaker known as Winson Shoemaker. Winson is run by Emil Putra, who's based out of Bandung, Indonesia, and has a small group of craftsmen and artisans working to design both his shoes and his boots. So Midas came about in early 2021 as a spin-off of the Winson brand in order to better define and separate their grandeur line, which is more of their classic high-end men's shoes, from their more casual wear, which features mainly boots. And so their regular line became Midas Bootmaker. And the same quality and craftsmanship was promised for Midas Bootmaker as Winson offers in his shoes, but at a palatable price point. This is the Vanquish country boot. Is an Edward Green Galway-style boot done in the Winson way. So what is the Edward Green Galway-style boot? So the Edward Green Galway-style boot features this profile here that you can see, this swooping side panel. That is one of the key features. Edward Green's cap toe is a little different than Winson's cap toe. Typically it's a just stitched faux cap toe that Edward Green executes in that style, but Winson features a brogued cap toe. You can see that broguing, and it has a really cool, well executed pull tab that is typical of all of Midas's shoes. So the welting, called chain stitch sterschuwen. So Veldschuwen, as you know, is popular amongst the Indonesian boot makers, but sterschuwen employs a style that creates a staircase effect that you can kind of sort of see here below the more ornamental Norwegian welt style that is done above it. This is a very elegant and ornamental welt that really makes this shoe pop. So the last that I chose for this pair is the Maryland last. So here is a demonstration of the Maryland last. You can see this has a almond shaped last with a slightly banana shaped lateral or outer edge and a more standard rounded medial or middle edge. Those stylings really lend themselves to comfort, yet the Maryland design is rather sleek. The heel counter actually hugs the heel very comfortably. And I chose a size based off of some discussions with the House of Agen, who actually stocks these shoes and is run by Andrew Gong. I shouldn't say he stocks them, but the MTO program is run through the House of Agen, which makes ordering these shoes a breeze should you choose to decide to order a pair. There are two other wider lasts, a Edlin last, which is more of a rounded shaped last, traditional for more traditional workwear style boots or heritage style boots. And then their Landshaker last, which features a larger toe spring and more of a curve in the front of the toe, which I wanted elegance, and the Maryland last seemed to be the closest I could get to turn this particular pair into something that I can wear at the office or out into the country. A couple other details I wanted to share. The leather is a rough out tan leather sourced from an Indonesian tannery and therefore substantially cheaper than the imported leathers that Midas offers primarily at this point through the Badalassi tannery, but they also have other leathers such as Horween leathers, and apparently Shinki leathers are coming as well. But I chose a local tan rough out because I wanted to try out the brand first. The sole is a double leather sole with a Vibram 430 mini lug sole to top it off. I think that this is a great choice because it's got that kind of more rough appearance that can be used outdoors, but when you turn it on its side, you cannot see those lugs. So it's kind of lending itself to the elegance of this design. So what do I like about Midas Bootmaker? Well, one, this is Emil Putra we're talking about, one of the finest shoemakers in the world making boots. Emil's a great guy, and he prices his shoes particularly using the rough out or local pull-up leathers very aggressively against the market, and so comparable if not cheaper than many of the other Indonesian makers. Well, you get incredible options such as this unique welt design. You get great detail on and cleanness on the stitching of the uppers. You can see just the details. Everything is executed incredibly well and really barely a stitch out of place. But the welt is almost what makes this shoe. So if I were offered the option to own a pair of Midas Vanquish Galway-style boots or a boot in the Galway style from other makers, including Edward Green, the original, which one would I choose? This one, folks. This is the boot. This is one of the most comfortable, well-styled, well-lasted, well-executed boots I've ever owned. At a great price point, what's there to argue with? Well, not much. And so at the end of the day, I highly, highly recommend you consider Midas Bootmaker. Much more expensive, maybe triply more expensive priced Edward Green. This is the pair I would get. And maybe think about them at the top of your list.